friends, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name is Emma and this is Emma's Cottage. In today's tutorial, we are going to be playing along with my craft source. So what are we doing? We are going to be doing their day 2 activity of their Christmas craft kit. So what is day 2? A Christmas countdown. I am so excited to make this with you guys. The first thing we need to do is we need to get this painted. Alright you guys, we're going to go ahead and use Cricut Design Space today to cut our vinyls. Your Christmas craft kit box came with a piece of paper that had a QR code that you need to scan and then download so that you can have all of the images for this week's craft projects. So right now we need to cut this out. And one thing I wanted to point out is that this does not come over perfectly into Cricut for some reason. So I was a little bit confused. I had to reach out to the team to say, hey, how is this supposed to look? But one thing that I wanted to show you really quick, bring over a different screen here, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. This one here that came through as a PNG, you can see how it's actually supposed to look. So what we need to do here is I'm going to go ahead and just ungroup it for a second. I'm going to grab all of these letters. I'm going to group those. I'm going to shift them down just a tad. Then I'm going to grab this black line and I'm going to shift it down. Now this line here, this is what we're going to be using the cute plaid vinyl today. And then I'm going to grab this reindeer and scoot it down just a tad as well. Maybe about right there. And what I think I'm going to do with this Days of Christmas, I think I'm going to actually just shift it up just a tad. Just to get it so that it's not overlapping his antlers. I wanted to keep those separate. So I think something like this will work out perfect. Just like that. How cute. I love it. In fact, I kind of want to make this maybe a little teeny bit bigger. So that's one thing that's great, you guys, is you guys can kind of pick and choose. Like just because they're releasing this design doesn't mean you have to do it exactly like they do. You could definitely make your changes to it. And I really do like this just a little bit bigger. I think that's so cute. Okay, and if you're a visual person like me, you could definitely change this color, but we don't need to. We're just going to leave it. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that these cut just like this in this order. So I'm going to click attach. Now what you could do is you could definitely attach this to this red here, but I'm actually not concerned about that at all because I would rather save the red and be able to use it at a later date. And if I were to attach this whole thing together, let me just show you what I'm talking about. If I grab all these reds, I grab this red and I grab this red, I'm going to go ahead and hit group just for a second. We're going to duplicate the group just so you can show you. So if I were to attach it, it's going to cut it just like this. And so all of this space right here and all of this space right here, it's all going to go in the garbage. So to me, I would much rather ungroup it and have it print like this and have it print like this, grabbing all these, like have it print close together, and then I can place it how I want it. That's how I'm going to do it. But if you want to make sure that this is lined up absolutely perfect, then all you need to do is select this red here. You would select this red by holding down your shift key and then this shift, and then you would click this attach button right there. And that's going to attach it together. If you go click the make it button, you can see if I'm on this sheet down here, that's what I'm talking about. All of this right here is going to be lost material. So to me, it just makes more sense to cut it like this. But you can see here, we got to fix that Merry Christmas. So let me go back. I'm going to grab this red and I am going to detach it because I definitely don't need that. Now I'm going to grab the words. Let's go find them on the side. They're right here. Okay, so they're grouped. Let's ungroup it. Let's grab those words right there. As you can see, they're all their own layer on this right hand side. You can see they're all their own layer, right? I need to click the attach button so that they will cut just like that and not scrambled. Now let's delete all of these. We don't need those cut. And then now let's go click make it again. Perfect. So you can see here, here's my Days to Christmas. I'm going to get this. I'm going to bring it down here so that I have less cutting. I'm going to move these ones down just a tad to to make it easier to weed. About like that. So now I know that it's only going to cut from this 4 to this 7. So I'm going to have a sheet of 4 by 7. I can either lay down the entire red sheet that my craft source sent me, or I can cut a 4 by 7 and lay it on my mat like that. That's usually my preference, so that I can save all of this vinyl for a later cut or a later time. And then this one here we're going to cut, and this one's going to be with the brown that they sent us. And then this one, it's black, but that really cute like flannel pattern. Now, the one thing I did forget to do before we move on, we need to make sure that this entire image is going to fit our space. So you can see right here that we're at 11.417 down and 6.6 across. Well, if I get my measuring tape, I'm gonna do it right now, you guys. I am measuring, it looks like it is 12 inches tall, and then it is about 7 across. So actually, I think I did pretty darn good, and I'm gonna leave it just like this, and let's go ahead and get to cutting. We're gonna go ahead and click make it. Now we need to prepare all 3 sheets. This sheet with the cute flannel vinyl, this sheet with the brown, and then this sheet with the red. So let's go ahead and click the continue button. And you know what, for all of these, I'm gonna go ahead and just select the premium vinyl. I think that should work for all of these. If not, I'll be sure to let you know. All right, let's go ahead and get those onto our mats and get cutting. All right, you guys, we need to go ahead and get our mats prepared. So like I said before, we need 3 different mats with the 3 different colors. And just so you guys know, if you guys didn't get the box, I will make sure that I have a link in the description below for all of these projects if you still wanted to play along with us. So what this is this is a sheet of Avery, the 978 in cocoa. And what you need to do is just put it face up. It's not like HTV where you have to have it face down, because we actually want to go ahead and cut the actual material, not the carrier sheet. So I'm just going to go ahead, lay that one down. That one's ready. This next one. Ooh, this doesn't feel very sticky. Hopefully it'll be okay. This one is a strip of Christmas tartan printed pattern adhesive. So adorable. So I can't guarantee that this one's always going to be available, because sometimes these printed patterns come and go. But I will try and find it on their website, and I will go ahead and link it in the description below. Hopefully that's going to stick. I think it's going to be okay. And then last but not least, we want to go ahead and load our red. Ooh, that one definitely does not feel sticky enough. I think it'll be okay. So like I said before, you can go ahead and cut the area if you want to, or you can just cut it afterwards. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it afterwards, because this is not very sticky, so I'm not worried about it being ruined. Okay. Now that we've got these all set on our mats, we're gonna go and cut one at a time with our Cricut machine. While it's cutting, I'm gonna go ahead and heat up our heat press. Turning it on, we want to do, this is a sublimation print. This came with your Christmas craft kit. It's printed on StarCraft paper, which is awesome. I've started using it this last month, and I've been super happy with it. They do sell it at my craft source. So they don't, as of right now, they don't sell ready to press sublimation prints, but they do include them sometimes in some of their awesome craft kits, which their Christmas craft kit came with a few different sublimation prints so that you guys can try this wonderful world of sublimation. So those of you that follow me know that I am completely obsessed with sublimation. So if you guys haven't really dove into sublimation world yet, go ahead and click the link above, which is all of my sublimation tutorials all in one place. So what I did is I went ahead and I turned on my press. We're gonna press this at 400 degrees for 60 seconds. Let me double check. Yep, nope, I lied. We're pressing it at 400 degrees for 25 to 40 seconds. So this one is a little bit different, but because we are sublimating it on PermaTwill. I am really excited because I have never sublimated on PermaTwill yet. So super excited that they included that in their craft kit this month. So let me show you what PermaTwill is. It's got like it's like a material, like a fabric material on one side, and then it looks like a carrier sheet or a plastic sheet on the back side. So you're gonna be sublimating on this front side. So I went ahead and turned on my press to 400 degrees to get it preheated while we were cutting the rest of the mats. Multitasking, people, multitasking. All right, the reindeer is now cutting. I've got my really cute plaid one cut, what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing my X-Acto knife and kind of cutting around it because I want to save as much as that as possible so that I can reuse it for another day. So I'm just pushing enough pressure, hopefully to see, yep, I did good, to just kind of cut that piece out. So all of this can be used for later craft. You see, that's what's left over. You can either take it off right now, just like that, and then grab your weeding tool, and we're gonna go ahead and just weed around it. It's gonna be super easy because this is just one big long rectangle. Ta-da, ta-da. And see that cute little slice? That's all we need. And the rest of this is garbage. Sounds like our reindeer's done. Let me grab it. All right, same thing with this one. We're gonna go ahead and just use our X-Acto knife, and I'm just gonna go around it to try and save as much as this vinyl as I can for a later date. See how much I have left over that I can use later? That's why it's always so important to save as much as you can. And then what we can do, my preference on weeding is I like to leave it on the mat when I weed. That way it kind of helps like as a second hand. Ooh, this stuff is so easy to weed. Oh, did you see that? One swoop. So satisfying. Now I can just take this off the sheet very carefully. Like that. How are we doing over here? We're at 326. We're almost there. So we're going to be pressing and we're going to be weeding really close to the same time. It's all about multitasking. All right, our last cut is done. Let's just do the same thing we did to the others. And you just want to be really careful when you're doing that to not cut off your image. That would be really sad. Look at all that extra vinyl. Perfect, so I've got this all weeded. And really the next thing you could do is just go ahead and you can either cut it with your X-Acto knife right now, or you can cut it with scissors later. It's up to you. And all I am doing is cutting it into pieces. So I've got my reindeer nose, I've got my days till Christmas, and then of course I have my adorable little numbers. Okay, all of our vinyl is cut. And we are almost ready to press. So exciting. Now, this is called PermaTwill. And typically they say you need to pre-press anything that you're gonna sublimate. I'm not quite sure, but to be safe, I'm gonna go ahead and pre-press it for about 5 seconds, just in case it has any moisture in it. Sublimation ink and moisture do not mesh well. It's like oil in water. So you wanna make sure that you get all of the moisture out of anything that you're pressing. So I'm just gonna do for about 5 seconds is all. That's it. Ooh, definitely shrunk up a little bit. Go ahead. The pressure was a little too high, so I'm releasing the pressure just a tad. Now here's our sublimation print that my craft source supplied inside of the box. So again, this was on sublimation paper. It was printed with sublimation printer, and it has sublimation ink. So this is not just a regular print. You have to have a special stuff to make this all work. So I went ahead, pre-pressed it for 5 seconds. Not sure if I needed to, but I did it just to be careful. I'm gonna go ahead and just lay this right on top. Now, a lot of people don't tape down their images. I always do. I've had way too many times where I didn't tape it down and then my image shifted either as I was pressing or as I was lifting. And what happens is you're gonna get like an outline that's called ghosting and basically ruins your project. So I always highly encourage you guys to tape down your images on all 4 sides. Taping them down. Now, another thing with sublimation paper, most of them do bleed. There is some that don't bleed through, which is fine. Either way is fine. But for the ones that do bleed through, you want to make sure that you're protecting your press. Or in my case, I've got the Teflon paper on top. I need to put down a piece of butcher paper so that I'm protecting it from when the ink bleeds through or blows out. I'm protecting it from getting on my press. All right, we've got it right there in the middle. We're gonna go ahead and press this. It's set for 25 to 40 seconds. So I'll probably do like 35. We'll see what happens. You know what? I'm kind of nervous about the bottom. Just because I've never used this before and I don't have a ton of knowledge on it, I'm actually going to put a piece of butcher paper on the bottom as well. Just in case. Just a little bit of added protection. It's probably not needed, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Now what you need to do to make sure that you have the right amount of pressure for this type of press, which you can get this press at my craft stores. I know that they're currently sold out, but just keep watching for it. It literally is my favorite press. I love it. But just to make sure that you have enough pressure, all you have to do is just pull on that piece of butcher paper, and if it doesn't pull out, then you've got plenty of pressure. Okay, here we go. Oh, you guys, I'm kind of nervous because I've never used this type of material before. Now you want to make sure that you never reuse your butcher paper that was on top, because like I said, it can blow out, that ink can, and then whatever is on your butcher paper can get on your next press. That's never fun. All right, let's see how this turned out. I'm going to very carefully just grab an edge and peekaboo it. You know what? I feel like it could go longer. I don't feel like it's, I think this could go longer. I'm going to do it just a tad longer. And I know I told you not to reuse the butcher paper again. In this case, I just don't feel like it was long enough. The ink was quite faded and it didn't, you can kind of tell when the ink kind of comes through on your sublimation paper and you could barely see. So I'm pretty sure that no ink had even come through. So just doing another press just to see if I can get it a little bit more vibrant. Let's just go there. So that ended up being a full 60 seconds is what I did. I may have totally just ruined it, but I just wanted it a little bit brighter. All right, getting a corner so that I can peekaboo. You know what? I think it's as bright as it's gonna get. Actually, it's pretty cute. Super cute. The bottom one just didn't seem super bright, but then when I lifted up the rest of the papers, they're actually really bright and really cute. You don't want to reuse this sheet. Pretty much it's got most of the ink out of it, so if you were to do a second press, you're not gonna get as bright and vibrant image. Go ahead and turn off the press and let me show you how cute these turned out. Ta-da, ta-da. Adorable. I love it. Turned out so cute. So as you can see, this is like a material on the one side, and then this is like the carrier sheet. So what they want us to do is they want us to cut around these. I'm sure probably cutting like where that green line is, we can cut around them. And then use these, you'll be able to peel off the back when we're ready to place them on our calendar. Speaking of calendar, mine is dry. It actually dried really quick. And I wanted to give you one piece of advice that I noticed. I should have sanded this down slightly before I painted it, because as I was painting in certain directions, some of the wood started to kind of lift up like little slivers of wood. And if I would have sanded it down just a little bit before I painted it, I wouldn't have had that issue. Now, it's still gonna be adorable and it's still gonna look super cute. All right, you guys, we are ready to create. I went ahead and I cut some of these cute little images out of the PermaTwill. They are adorable. I just kind of did like a little messy cut around the images. And then what we need to do is we need to go ahead and get everything placed where we want it. So what I like to do is I kind of start by placing it all on here to make sure it's going to be lined up how I want it. About right there. And then there. Perfect. It's adorable. Okay, let's start with the bottom and then the top, and then I'll work in the middle. So what I'm going to do, I try and reuse my transfer sheets all the time. Cut this one off. It's perfect size. Oh, I'm a teeny bit short, but it'll be okay. Okay, so I got it on there. See that? And then what I need to do I got this tool from my craft source. I love it. It's got the plastic on the bottom and then it's got like the felt on the top. So all I'm gonna do is just sit there and rub it so I can make sure that I get it completely attached. And what I like to do is I like to do front and back. Should hopefully do it. Let's check and see. I'm just gonna very slowly start to peel it off. Voila, like magic. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and place it right here on the top. Now, as you can see, I've got excess on the bottom. I really don't need this much, but it's okay. I'm just gonna hold that with my fingers and then just branch this down. Putting some really good pressure back and forth just to make sure it gets stuck. And this is where I like to use the felt side instead of the rough rubber side so that it doesn't damage your vinyl underneath. I'm gonna slowly, at a really good angle, I like to do it at a sharp angle. Just peel this right off. Ta-da! We got the first part done. All right, let's do the bottom now. I know I'm kind of working backwards, but I like to do that so that I know how much space I have left over. Let's go ahead and get these numbers. Same thing. I wonder if this is gonna be big enough. No, it's not. I'm gonna cut this. I don't need all the excess. But like I said, I'm weird. I reuse it. So I've got another see, I have all these extras. I like to reuse it. I tell you what, you guys, this is like the one and only transfer tape that I've purchased, and it has lasted me a year. And I still have a ton left. And it's because I reuse and I reuse and I reuse and I reuse all the time. Do the same thing, front and back. And then slowly try and peel it off. Ta-da, ta-da! Came right off. Let's go ahead and put it on the bottom of our calendar. Using the tool, let's apply some pressure. Ta-da! When I say sharp angle, this is what I'm meaning. I like to have my tape all the way bent over. When you have a sharp angle like that, it makes it so that your vinyl doesn't come back up. Not every time, but most of the time. All right, let's work on this cute little pattern sheet here. This one's gonna be super easy to do. I'm gonna come right on. Front and back. See if that comes off. Perfect. That one was so easy. Go ahead and just lay it right there. Peel it off. So easy. All right. Now let's work on our cute deer. So we need to get a piece that's going to be big enough for the deer. I like to just kind of put it upside down. Oh, look at that. I told you I reuse everything. I had already cut a piece. All right. So what I like to do is I try and start either from the middle and then work my way out, or I start from one end. In this case, I'm gonna go ahead and just start in the middle. So what you do is you kind of fold it up like a taco, start right in the middle, and then work your way down. As easy as that, right? Apply some pressure. Same as the other ones. We're gonna do the front and then we're gonna do the back. I really like this material that we're using today. So this was the Avery vinyl, and I just feel like it weeded really, really easy, and then it's very silky smooth. It's probably the best way to describe it. All right, I think I'm just gonna eyeball this one. Now, there is definitely tricks that you can use. Like you can use like parchment paper, clear parchment paper, so that you can kind of see where you're gonna lay it down. This situation, I'm just gonna eyeball it. Just try and put it right in the middle. I'm just not gonna put any pressure until I know it's right where I want it. And I think that's perfect, just like that. A little to the right. Perfect. Put the pressure down just like before. Awesome. And when you feel like it's all the way down, then you just grab your transfer sheet, put it at that tight angle I was telling you about, and let's just go ahead and peel it off. Ta-da, ta-da. And of course, like I told you before, I love to reuse my sheets. So I just put it right back on my roll, and then I roll it up. so that I can use it next time. All right, we've got one last piece, which is this cute little red nose. I'm just gonna grab some of these old pieces here. Grab his nose, which is right here. Cute little red nose. Do the same thing. Back. Pull it off. Came right off. And then, again, I'm just gonna eyeball it, get it right where I want it. Right there. You know what's so fun about this craft, you guys? You could totally make it your own. Like if you wanted to add a cute little face to your reindeer, you definitely could with other colors of vinyl. You could add maybe some more of these red, because we had a lot of red left over. So you could add some of the red and maybe do some cute little ornaments hanging from his antlers. But oh my goodness, is that adorable or what? And that was so easy. In fact, this is such an easy project. You could absolutely do it with your children. They would probably love this. Isn't that cute? Cute little countdown for Christmas. Now, what do you do with these ones? So as soon as you're counting down for the 12 days of Christmas, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the 12, 11, 10, 9, and I'm gonna count down. What I'll do is I'll grab one of these cute little, they call them ornaments, that we pressed, and you would just go ahead and you're gonna peel off the back and you're just gonna cover that number for that day. Another thing that I was thinking would be kind of cute is it does come with some cute little ornaments, and you could possibly even like hang cute little ornaments from his antlers. Should we try that? Let's try it. All right. Again, I've never used this stuff before, so let's see if I can figure it out. Okay, it's actually pretty easy. I think I was overthinking it. All you have to do is just get a corner like this, peel it right off, and now the back is sticky. And then we can just grab this and we can just hang a cute little ornament from his antlers. So cute. It turned out adorable. If you guys were able to get your hands on a My Craft Source Christmas kit for 2021, make sure you guys follow me on Facebook and make sure that you post your pictures of how yours turned out. I'm so excited to see. I loved it. It's so adorable. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much to My Craft Source for letting me play along with you guys this Christmas season. As always, if you guys liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. But the most important part, as always, is to make sure that you ring that bell so that you will get notified anytime that I upload a new video. Until next time, we'll see you later, friends. Bye.